95.1 FM. Sports Hardcore. News.
This is the world news on a premium talk radio. Today, 95.1 FM Port Harcourt. I am Amaka Felix. Good evening. We begin with the headlines. Ogoni Group faults Imadeya over comments on oil exploration. NSCDC intercepts large consignment of illicit drugs in River State. House of Reps threatened to sanction 13 oil firms over $456 million unpaid revenue. And on the foreign scene, dozens go missing after migrants drown at sea after 2 shipwrecks off coast of Libya. Details in a moment. An advocacy group, Conscience of Ogoni People, COPE, has faulted a recent statement credited to Imadeya concerning the planned resumption of oil exploration in Ogoni land. In a statement issued by its leader, Gani Toba, COPE expressed concern over what it described as the inciting tone of Deya's comments, characterizing them as an attempt to challenge the federal government and mislead the Ogoni people on their collective stance regarding oil exploration at a time when the Ogoni nation is nearing the conclusion of peace and reconciliation efforts with the government. He said President Bola Tinubu has consistently shown a strong commitment to resolving the long-standing Ogoni struggle and birthing a new era of development in the region. The statement affirmed that the Ogoni people supports the current administration's efforts to end the over 3-decade stalemate and emphasized that no amount of political distraction or sponsored blackmail will derail the Ogoni peace agenda with the federal government and neighboring communities. The group further criticized Deya, claiming he was previously a member of the Board of Trustees of the Hydrocarbon Pollution Remediation Project, HYPRAP, during which time they allege millions of dollars were mismanaged without accountability. COPE assured President Tinubu of the continued cooperation of the Ogoni people in his bid to bring meaningful developments to the region, urging the administration not to be distracted as it pledged to continue enlightening the Ogoni populace on the path toward peace and progress. The Nigeria Security and Civil Defense Corps, NSCDC, River State Command, has intercepted a large consignment of illicit drugs during an operation aimed at curbing illegal bunkering activities. The seized substances, suspected to be cannabis sativa and Canadian loud, were concealed in 6 jumbo-sized bags and recovered along the Ojikeri River in Okrika local government area. According to a statement by the State Public Relations Officer, SC Hemnacho Umeado, the exhibits have been handed over to the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency, NDLEA, for further investigation and action. State Commandant Joachim Okafor commended the command's personnel for their vigilance and dedication, emphasizing the importance of interagency collaboration as demonstrated by the seamless handover to the NDLEA. Receiving the items, Assistant Commander of Narcotics, ACN James Awoji of the NDLEA commended the NNCDC for their efforts and reaffirmed the commitment of both agencies to sustained cooperation in tackling drug-related crimes. Meanwhile, youths in Rumaholo community, Obiakpa local government area of River State, have been urged to steer clear of restiveness and illicit drug use as part of efforts to reduce crime in the area. Speaking to Today FM, Rumaholo Youth President John Amadi encouraged young people to pursue skill acquisition as a pathway to financial independence. Amadi noted that lasting peace would attract government development and private investments to the community. He also pledged to prioritize the interests of the youth and work toward eliminating social vices in the area.
My vision and my motto is for me to make sure that Romawolo youth are together, for we to join faith together to move Romawolo forward. You watch the way the situation of the country is going, the corruption that is happening between the youth, boys and girls. I say, no, I need to come back home to bring my youth together so that let's form a good future of tomorrow. And Romawolo youth will be a better youth tomorrow. We'll have a youth seminar where we educate them. Sure, it's for me to make sure that they focus in education. You have your handwork where you put them in skill acquisition. Those that want to go to school for their education will have the resources to move Romawolo youth forward. I will not be a failure to them.
A coalition of women-led groups staged a peaceful walk to the River State Government House to demand electoral reforms and the restoration of democratic governance in the state. The march, which took place along Aba Road in Port Harcourt, was organized by Quebec Women Development and Resource Center, Women's Rights Advancement and Protection Alternative, RAPA, and the PLEX Center, with support from the Makoso Foundation. Addressing newsmen during the rally, Program Officer at Kabit Kache, Idongesit Smart, emphasized the purpose of the walk, highlighting its connection to the ongoing governance crisis in the state and its negative impact on development. Smart expressed concern that the current political climate in River State resembles a military regime more than a democratic system, citing the suspension of the governor, the State House of Assembly members, and the appointment of a sole administrator as indicators of democratic collapse.
We want to look at over the years historically that Nigerian lawmakers, the representation of women keep remaining at 4.5%. It doesn't go more than that. And you know that in the country we have like 50% women, percentage of women in Nigeria. But these things keep remaining like that, and they're politicking. So that is why, as a women organization, we have also started our own politicking to ensure that women come out this 2027 to vote and be voted for.
A woman who took part in the walk also shared her views, expressing concerns about the marginalization of women and the implications of what she described as an emergency rule in River State.
It comes to, in terms of having leadership or in positions, women are disregarded. And when it comes to democracy in River State, we are see that the people are forced to be into one-party system, and that is not democracy. They should allow everybody to choose the right leaders which they want. Okay, June 12 came, and people were expecting that June 12 can be restored in past administration under Governor Similaye Fubara. But the president himself cannot say anything. If we are talking of democracy and in June 12, the president himself will not stand to say a word.
Calls for intervention by the Ministry of Lands and Housing have intensified following alleged encroachment on private lands by real estate developers in Minimba Land, Romaholo Community, Obiakwa Local Government Area of River State. Speaking on behalf of the Rumuchuku Aolu family, Oku Amadi Chile expressed concern in an interview with Today FM, stating that the persistent alleged invasion and illegal acquisition of land has caused a growing tension in the area. Chile alleged that some estate developers bribe a few individuals within the community to unlawfully take possession of land, disregarding legal ownership and due process. He noted that lands belonging to the late G.C. Nwogu, Anderson Njoho, and Jackson Honda have been targeted by real estate developers, despite existing court orders restraining further development or sale of the disputed property.
Over the incessant activities of the land grabbers in Romaholo town, particularly the individual land at the Minimba Romaholo, which includes consent judgments, relevant court orders. It is of importance to note that the consent judgment was obtained by the people, being the individual landowners. It is a taboo for these land grabbers to bring the efforts and the peace brought by ENWK government to the mount. For these land grabbers who came in claiming that they are working under the suspended governor, let them be warned and move out of the individual
Chile further revealed that the community is taking legal steps to protect their land from illegal acquisition.
Lands. The idea of them romancing with the police is that when they are being invited by various stations or enforcement agencies, due to their influential capacity, they will ignore. Police will keep on inviting them, they will not be there. Before you know it, the matter will be scratched out. These land grabbers indulges themselves, involve some community members who are not owners of that very place. So they engage them, Nicodemus pay them money, influence them.
A Rivers State High Court sitting in Port Harcourt has adjourned for accelerated hearing in the murder trial of Inspector Christiana Erekere, a female police officer allegedly killed by a group of travelers from Delta State en route to Akwa Ibom for a traditional marriage ceremony. Late Inspector Erekere was reportedly killed on April 24, 2024 during a stop-and-search operation at the Taba Police Division in Kana local government area of the state. And the case resumed today, one of the defendants, Napoleon Wereka, told the court from the witness box that the statement he made that the Bori Area Command was given under duress. Wereka alleged that the late inspector used her shoe to inflict injuries on the first and second defendants before running into her office inside the police station. In response to cross-examination by prosecution counsel Dixon Celestin, Wereka denied that he and other members of the convoy chased the police officer, insisting that she was sound and healthy at the time they left the Taba Police Division. Presiding Judge Justice Augusta Chukwu, after hearing the testimony, adjourned the case to June 23rd, 26th, 27th, and July 11th, 2025 for accelerated hearing. A lecturer at the Faculty of Environmental Management, Rivers State University, Ohanuna Chukwudi, has called for a total ban on the indiscriminate dumping and burning of plastic waste as a means to reduce air pollution and its associated environmental hazards. Chukwudi made the call while speaking to Today FM's Magnus Wawa shortly after the World Environment Day celebration held at the amphitheater of Rivers State University. In line with the theme of the event, End Plastic Pollution in the Environment, Chukwudi noted that one of the solutions to the problem is discouraging the use of single-use plastics and promoting the adoption of recyclable alternatives to achieve environmental sustainability.
You have to deal with tons of plastic waste in the environment. We know that this plastic waste can cause various forms of environmental degradation to not just the soil, but also when these plastic wastes are not properly disposed, it leads to air pollution too when they are burnt. So we gathered here today as a university to commemorate the celebration of this World Environment Day, and we are also preferring solutions plastic pollution. What are those solutions? Prohibition of the use of single-use plastics. What do I mean by single-use plastics? Plastics that are used only once. So we are saying that the use of single-use plastics should be prohibited.
You are listening to the world news on Today 95.1 FM. After the break, more news, foreign and sports stories. Do stay with us.
Every day, every hour, when the big stories break, depend on our 24-hour news team to bring you the latest. Today, 95.1 FM.
Welcome back and thank you for staying with us. President Bola Tinubu has mandated the country's service chiefs and the Inspector General of Police, Kayode Egbetokun, to go after those behind the dastardly killings in Benue State, which have left scores of people dead and many others severely injured. President Tinubu issued the order during his condolence visit to Benue State following the renewed attacks in the state.
I expect there should be arrests of those criminals. Christopher, thank you very much. I want your comments. I know you can't be tired of staying in the bush, and Oloyede and Basha, thank all of you, but we need to keep our ears to the ground. Let's get those criminals. Let's get them out.
Earlier, President Tinubu visited persons recovering from last Friday's attack by armed herders on Gilwata in Guma local government area of Benue State. The attack claimed over 100 lives. The patients are recuperating at the Benue State University Teaching Hospital. Meanwhile, President Bola Tinubu has announced plans to form a leadership committee to help bring lasting peace to Benue State, which has faced a wave of attacks by suspected herdsmen over the years. The president said the committee, which would include the Tor Tiv V, Och Idoma, and other traditional rulers in the state, would meet in Abuja to find a solution to the crisis that has persisted for many years. Tinubu said this in Makurdi during his visit to Benue State following last Friday's attack in the Yelwata community, which claimed the lives of over 100 people. At a stakeholders meeting at the banquet hall of the government house in Makurdi, Tinubu declared his intention to find a lasting peace in this state. He emphasized the need for all Nigerians to unite against common enemies instead of fighting among themselves. In the meantime, the River State chapter of the National Rice Producers, Processors, Millers and Marketers Association of Nigeria, NRPPMAN, has called on farmers across the country to remain united and raise their voices against the rising attacks by herders on farmlands, particularly in Benue and Plateau states. Speaking in an interview with Today FM's Olawale Sanusi, the River State chairman of the National Rice Producers Association, Godwin Akandu, described the ongoing violence and displacement of farmers in the affected states as deeply condemnable, stressing that such incidents could happen to anyone, regardless of region, if not addressed collectively. Akandu warned that the escalating farmer-herder crisis poses a serious threat to national food security, as it could discourage millions of Nigerians from participating in agricultural activities. He also urged the federal government to call a spade by addressing the crisis decisively, starting from the grassroots level, as he further appealed for the compensation of affected farmers in Benue State, describing it as a necessary step towards justice and encouragement.
All farmers in Nigeria should rise up and condemn what is happening in Benue and Plateau State, because it can happen to any one of us. How can somebody, after suffering, cultivate his farm and he cannot access his farm again because of vandals, intruders, preying on their farm with their animals? It is very bad. It is uncalled for. Nigerian government should compensate the farmers in Benue State, because what is happening there, if not controlled, can degenerate and can even lead to food shortage.
The House of Representatives has warned 13 non-compliant oil companies to appear before it to answer questions in the ongoing probe of non-remittance of monies due to the federal government or face grave sanctions. The companies are allegedly owing the federal government about $456.95 million in unremitted revenues. In a statement issued by its spokesman, Akin Rotimi, the House noted that despite repeated invitations and public notices through national newspapers, the companies failed to appear before the committee, prompting the PAC to consider punitive actions in line with legislative and constitutional provisions. According to the statement, the companies include Corn Oil Producing Limited, Continental Oil and Gas Limited, Energia Limited, Frontier OML 13, and Millennium Oil and Gas Limited. Others are Nikonde Energy Limited, Pillar Oil Limited, Walter Smith OML 16, Ito Limited, Bilton Hess Holdings, General Hydrocarbon Limited, and Aeroton. On the foreign scene now, at least 60 refugees and migrants are feared missing and drowned at sea after two shipwrecks off the coast of Libya. The International Organization for Migration, IOM, made this known, stating that the accident happened while they were attempting the perilous crossing to Europe. The IOM Regional Director for the Middle East and North Africa, Othman Belbasi, once again urged the international community to scale up search and rescue operations and guarantee safe, predictable disembarkation for survivors. He said one shipwreck occurred on June 12 near Al-Shab port in Tripolitania, where only 5 survivors were found and 21 people were reported missing. The second incident occurred on June 13. According to the sole survivor, who was rescued by fishermen, 39 people are missing. To end the news, here is a summary of the major stories. An Ogoni group has faulted Ima Deya over his comments against oil exploration in Ogoniland. NSCDC has intercepted a large consignment of illicit drugs in Rivers State. You heard that the House of Representatives has threatened to sanction 13 oil firms over $456 million unpaid revenue. And on the foreign scene, we told you that dozens have gone missing after migrants drowned at sea after 2 shipwrecks off the coast of Libya. Ifunaya Obema Ndukwe edited the news. For comments and inquiries, please call 0818-389-2850. Send your emails to news@todayfmlive.com. Read our stories on www.todayfmlive.com. I am Amaka Felix. Thank you for listening. Good evening.
Today's news, today's entertainment, today's sports, today's issues. Today on Today 95.1 FM, Port Harcourt.
Today 95.1 FM, where news meets insight, sports meets passion, and entertainment meets excellence. Expert analysis from seasoned professionals and our top analysts, informing, educating, and entertaining you. Your voice, your station. We are the voice of the people.
Red is passion. Pink is for unconditional love. Blue is for loyalty. While black is secretive and mysterious.
Baby, tonight, the night.
Let's talk about love. The passion, the bliss, the betrayal, and everything in between. On Lovey Dovey, Mondays to Thursdays from 11 p.m. beneath the night sky with the Amaka Felix on Today 95.1 FM.
Station with the
As the voice of the people, we make sure that no one misses out. On Today 95.1 FM, there's something for everyone.
Our tech show, because tech is new money. Our kids show, because we love the little ones.
Our gospelration, because it's the moment of truth. Our high life show, because high life is vintage.
Our sports show with the adrenaline. Our midnight show, because we care about your love life.
Our nostalgia drive, because old is gold. Our show for young people, because Gen Z code is on.
Our pigeon bit, because that one said day. Our book review, because books are a mirror. Our big stories, because big things only.
Our health shows with seasoned health experts, because we care that you're healthy. Our eyewitness report, because we want to hear from you. Our reggae show, because Rastafari. Boom!
Five, four, three, two, one.
Let's take you into a realm. Another dimension. A reality of higher intelligence, discovery, and quantum possibilities. Tune in every Monday Saturday, 1 p.m. to 2 p.m. on this station and be part of this journey as we address issues that relate to you and your tech life. It is today's Tech Show on your premium talk, news and sports station. Today, 95.1 FM.
A person who knows how to read and does not read is no different from a person who does not know how to read at all.
Books are the mirrors of the soul, a powerful tool for change, a means to an end. That end is a peaceful society which grooms enlightened and empowered individuals. So, make literature your utopia.
This same issue that we see in this book is still prevalent in our society today. Like up to today, some parents, some people
will still say you can't marry from this tribe. You shouldn't marry from this tribe.
God forbid, I can't marry.
Yeah. Join us in book review every Saturday at 7:30 p.m. Let's help you find your utopia.
Today is business. Today is a new trend for your businesses. We give you all the information you need to grow your business, new ideas and innovations that keep you earning more and staying relevant.
Every day we engage in business, buying and selling, trading and exchanging of services as individuals or as a country. Money goes round, it goes up and down. But have you ever wondered what business is all about? And have you ever wondered how you can stand out in your business?
Today FM has got you covered every Wednesday between the hours of 1 p.m. to 2 p.m.
Learn all you need from professionals on how the country runs its business affairs and how you can be an outstanding entrepreneur and grow your business.
Business Today.
It all begins with breaking news.
Now, make no mistake, this is a difficult mission, and it will remain difficult for some time.
Then it keeps trending. Events, issues, personalities, all struggling to gain attention. But in the race for deadlines, the intrigues, power play, undercurrents are often missed or underreported.
Insecurity here is basically a product of poverty.
But not anymore. As the platform on radio steps in to fill the missing links on events, issues, personalities in the news.
I'm not afraid of anybody.
Yeah! The platform on radio serves only the hottest topics and trending issues. Only on Today 95.1 FM. 95.1 FM. Port Harcourt.
Weekdays, 4 p.m.
Get on the platform on radio and be served.
Have you ever been in a situation where you had to pay a fine for an indictment? Then you later found out that there was an already established law to protect you from that penalty. Have you ever been denied a position because of your gender or disability? Have you ever been discriminated, treated unfairly, assaulted or cheated by your landlord, employer, tax collectors, bank, family, business partners, and the police? What if the breach between you and justice is just the right knowledge? I'm sure you've heard that knowledge is power. Join us every Saturday, 10 to 10:30 a.m. on Today 95.1 FM for the program The Law Today, to get acquainted with your legal rights and beneficial interests as a citizen of Nigeria. The Law Today, 10 to 10:30 a.m. every Saturday, is brought to you by Today 95.1 FM, Port Harcourt.
After Oxygen, entertainment has to be the next best thing.
Because every chapter is unexpected.
At Today 95.1 FM, we know we entertain better, so we do it.
Life is too short to overthink your overthinking. So join us at 11:30 a.m. every weekday.
Let's give you a taste of sugar, spice, and everything nice.
Entertainment Today.
The ultimate entertainment extravaganza.
Want to know what's happening? Get latest information in sports, politics, lifestyle, you name it. The frequency of choice. Today 95.1 FM. Today 95.1 FM. We serve you the latest updates on everything. Today 95.1 FM. We are the voice of the people.
Today 95.1 FM. Today's quest. Today 95.1 FM. Today's hustle. Today 95.1 FM. Today's connect. Today 95.1 FM. Voice of the people. This is the world news. This is Today 95.1 FM Port Voice of the People. It is time again for a rundown of the foreign news stories that made the headlines on the world today. I am Amaka Felix. Good evening. In the headlines, Federal High Court grants house arrest to former Argentinian President Cristina Fernandez de Kirchner. Iran threatens further escalation if U.S. intervenes in conflict with Israel. New York City controller arrested by ICE agents outside immigration court. In prison, singer R. Kelly alleges murder plot against him in prison. Details in a bit. Top independent human rights investigators have alleged that the heavy fighting in Sudan continued to escalate as a direct result of continued flow of arms into the country. In an update on the emergency in the Northeast African nation, the independent international fact-finding mission for the Sudan highlighted the increased use of heavy weaponry in populated areas and a sharp rise in sexual violence. The investigators warned that humanitarian relief will continue to be weaponized while hospitals and medical facilities remain under siege. Fellow investigator Mona Rishmawi insisted that testimonies gathered pointed to both sides continuing to commit war crimes, a reference to the Sudanese Armed Forces (SAF) and the Rapid Support Forces (RSF), which turned on each other in April 2023. Meanwhile, Sudan's Prime Minister Camille El Tayyib Idris has directed the reopening of universities in Khartoum. In a memo to the Ministry of Higher Education and Scientific Research, the PM directed that a proper assessment of the damages and repairs be done following the attacks on the university buildings and research centers. The war in Sudan, which began in April 2023, has severely affected the country's education sector, with many institutions in Khartoum state destroyed or rendered unusable. He also directed the National Center for Curricular and Educational Research to include lessons fostering peace, national unity, and rejecting hate speech in their journey to national recovery and reconciliation. Authorities did not give a specific date for the reopening. Away from Africa to the rest of the world, a federal high court in Argentina has granted former President Cristina Fernandez de Kirchner house arrest to serve her 6-year sentence for corruption charges. The court decided that the 72-year-old Fernandez's age and visibility as a political figure made house arrest a reasonable option for her confinement. Just 3 years ago, in 2022, the popular left-wing leader faced an assassination attempt wherein an assailant aimed a pistol at her head. The court cited such dangers in its decision, saying Fernandez's safety would become complex in a situation of prison confinement in coexistence with any type of prison population. The court ruled that the former president's house arrest must begin immediately, as it also explained that she would be subject to electronic monitoring. She will serve out her sentence at her apartment in Buenos Aires and that she shares with her daughter and granddaughter. U.S. tech giant Meta has expressed concern that Iran may block WhatsApp after state media claimed the messaging service is being used for snooping by Israel. Meta, the parent company of Facebook, WhatsApp, and Instagram, in a statement said the false reports will be an excuse for their services to be blocked at a time when people need them the most. It stressed that all the messages sent to family and friends on WhatsApp are end-to-end encrypted, meaning no one except the sender and recipient has access to the messages. Meta added that it does not track users' precise location or maintain logs of who is messaging whom, noting that they do not provide bulk information to any government. Meta's statement came after the Islamic Republic News Agency, IRNA, urged citizens to deactivate or delete their WhatsApp accounts because the Zionist regime is using citizens' information to harm them. The White House has announced that President Donald Trump will sign an executive order this week to extend a deadline for TikTok's Chinese owner to divest the popular video sharing app. Recall that Trump had signed an order in early April to keep TikTok running for an additional 75 days after a potential deal to sell the app to American owners was put on ice. White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt, in a statement, reiterated that President Trump does not want TikTok to go dark, stressing that the extension will last 90 days. She explained that the extension is to ensure that the deal is closed so that Americans can continue using TikTok with the assurance that their data is safe. Iran has warned that any United States intervention in the conflict with Israel would risk an all-out war as the two sides traded attacks for a sixth straight day. In an interview with Al Jazeera, Iran's Ministry of Foreign Affairs spokesman Ismail Baghei warned that any American intervention would be a recipe for an all-out war in the region. He affirmed that they have very good relations with Arab countries, adding that they are very cognizant of the fact that Israel has been trying to drag others into the war. He expressed certainty that Arab countries hosting U.S. bases would not allow their territory to be used against their Muslim neighbors. Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi has told United States President Donald Trump that a ceasefire between India and Pakistan after a 4-day conflict in May was achieved through talks between the two militaries and not U.S. mediation. Indian Foreign Secretary Vikram Misri, in a press statement, said PM Modi told President Trump clearly that during the period there was no talk at any stage on subjects like India-US trade deal or US mediation between India and Pakistan. The statement revealed that talks for ceasing military action happened directly between India and Pakistan through existing military channels and on the insistence of Pakistan. Prime Minister Modi, during a phone conversation, emphasized that India has not accepted mediation in the past and will never do. Recall that Trump had said last month that the nuclear-armed South Asian neighbors agreed to the ceasefire after talks mediated by the U.S., and that the hostilities ended after he urged the countries to focus on trade instead of war. New York City Controller Brad Lander has been arrested by federal agents at an immigration court as the administration of U.S. President Donald Trump steps up its confrontational approach with local officials over immigration raids. Lander, a central candidate in the city's Democratic primary election for mayor, was escorting a defendant out of court yesterday as part of an effort to observe immigration hearings and promote legal services for immigrants when he was arrested by United States Immigration and Customs Enforcement, ICE. Lander's social media account that says it was written by his wife stated that while escorting a defendant out of immigration court at 26 Federal Plaza, Brad was taken by masked agents and detained by ICE. The Group of Seven summit in Canada has ended without leaders issuing a joint statement in support of Ukraine, as Ukrainian leader Volodymyr Zelensky warned that diplomacy is now in a state of crisis. The summit of major industrial democracies, which wrapped up in the Canadian Rocky Mountain resort of Kananaskis State late yesterday, had been intended to showcase unity on major global issues. But, unlike in previous years, when the group had jointly denounced Russian aggression against Ukraine, this time it was unable to issue a statement in support of the embattled Western ally. Zelensky met the leaders of Canada, the United Kingdom, France, Germany, Italy and Japan, along with NATO chief Mark Rutte, on the final day of the conference. However, a meeting with the leader of the group's most powerful member, the United States, President Donald Trump, did not take place after he left the summit a day early to address the escalating hostilities between Israel and Iran from Washington. After the meeting, Zelensky said he had told the remaining G7 leaders that diplomacy is now in a state of crisis and asked them to continue calling on Trump to use his real influence to press for an end to the war. R. Kelly attorneys and court filings have added details to the singer's allegations of a murder plot by prison officials. However, government lawyers have dismissed the claims as a fanciful conspiracy. The singer's attorneys stated that he collapsed in prison and was hospitalized, arguing that he requires temporary release on home detention. 58-year-old Kelly is serving time at a Butner, North Carolina federal facility related to separate convictions for child sex crimes and racketeering. In a series of filings that started last week, Kelly's attorneys claim prison officials sought out leaders of a white supremacist gang to kill him and prevent the release of damaging information on prison officials. After that filing, Kelly was moved to a solitary confinement. They also alleged he was purposely given a medication overdose and required hospitalization and surgery for blood clots, but he was sent back to solitary. Kelly's attorney, B.U.B. Brindley, wrote in a filing that the act was done within days of his exposure of a plan to kill him set forth by Bureau of Prisons officials. That story from R. Kelly concludes tonight's edition of The World Today, as produced by Sandra Kenneth of the News Department. Before we go, here is a summary of the stories that made the headline. We told you that a federal high court has granted house arrest to former Argentinian President Cristina Fernandez. You heard that Iran has threatened further escalation if U.S. intervenes in their conflicts with Israel. We also told you that a New York City controller has been arrested by ICE agents outside immigration court. And finally, you heard that imprisoned singer R. Kelly has alleged murder plot against him in prison. Till same time tomorrow, to have a lovely evening, and thank you for listening.
Today 95.1 FM, where news meets insight, sports meets passion, and entertainment meets excellence. Expert analysis from seasoned professionals and our top analysts, informing, educating, and entertaining you. Your voice, your station. We are the voice of the people.
Red is passion. Pink is for unconditional love. Blue is for loyalty. while black is secretive and mysterious.
Let's talk about love. The passion, the bliss, the betrayal, and everything in between. On Lovey Dovey, Mondays to Thursdays from 11 p.m. beneath the night sky with the Amaka Felix on Today 95.1 FM.
Turn the dial and turn up the thrill. We are not in the same league. We are rewriting the rules. Here on Today 95.1 FM.
We talk, you listen.
Hello, I'm Audrey Brown, and today in Focus in Africa, the deadly dangers of trying to get an education in Cameroon as a separatist conflict continues in the English-speaking regions. How do teachers and students deal with it?
The children themselves have developed coping strategies because they have experienced the worst of the worst. They have seen their parents, their siblings, their neighbors, their friends shot in cold blood. It may be commuting from one area to another for safety. They have had to meet decomposing human corpses along the road in the bushes.
Beijing offers African countries tariff-free trade. What does it involve and who does it include? And what's at the root of a court battle between Kenyan farmers and the government over who owns the seeds that are planted to grow food?
A country is supposed to protect indigenous knowledge and also processes. You are looking at the violation of rights. If you are limiting my access to seeds, which is what I use to get my food, then you are limiting my rights to food. We are not saying do away with the whole act. We are just saying stop criminalizing indigenous seeds and also protect indigenous seeds.
And farmers, of course.
Yes.
It's Wednesday, the 18th of June. First, we go to Cameroon. Hundreds of thousands of children can't go to school in Cameroon. They live in the English-speaking regions of the country, and there's a fight going on between the government and groups that want to split the country into English and French-speaking units. Their schools are attacked, so their parents keep them away. They often have to leave their villages and towns and hide in the forests to escape violence. According to the Norwegian Refugee Council, Cameroon tops the list of countries experiencing a crisis in education caused by conflict. Imagine that, with Gaza happening right now, and Ukraine, and girls in Afghanistan being denied education. Cameroon comes out tops. The Anglophone insurgency is not the only crisis in the country. It is in a rough neighborhood after all, with spillover from the instability in the Lake Chad Basin and the Central African Republic. By 2024, 3.4 million people in Cameroon needed urgent help. More than 1.1 million were internally displaced. But what makes this crisis especially tragic is how little global attention it receives. The Norwegian Refugee Council calls it a case study in neglect. But how did this crisis begin? And how did children's education become the main casualty? Paul Njie explains.
You may have heard of the Anglophone crisis in Cameroon and thought it's simply an issue of secession. But did you know that innocent children are still paying the price of a conflict they didn't start? I'll explain. You see, in late 2016, aggrieved teachers and lawyers from the minority Anglophone regions of the country went on strike over what they described as domination by their Francophone colleagues in English-speaking schools and courts. To put it simply, they denounced what they perceived as marginalization by the majority Francophone government. The strikes essentially stopped schooling, and when Anglophone separatists exploited the social grievances, they banned education in the northwest and southwest regions altogether. Rights groups have accused them of threatening, attacking, and kidnapping students in these regions just to enforce their school boycott order. The secessionists have also destroyed educational facilities, leaving thousands out of school. As a matter of fact, UNICEF says over 40% of schools in these regions remain non-operational, with 25% of children of school-going age still out of school. Government troops have also been accused of committing atrocities such as arbitrary arrests, detentions, torture, and extrajudicial killings. As the Anglophone community grapples with the loss of at least 6,000 people and displacement of close to 500,000 others, the future of many children now hangs in the balance. But the question on nearly every lip remains, for how long?
So what's it like being a teacher in these conditions? And what's being done to give children a chance to learn again? Mr. Sama Abang Mugwa is a teacher based in Buea, the main town in the southwest English-speaking region of Cameroon. So describe for us what a typical school day looks like for you as a teacher and for your students.
Normally, school days have run from Mondays to Fridays, and work normally begins from 7:30 a.m. to 3:30 p.m. But for the past 7 or 8 years, when the crisis broke out, Mondays have been off days in the northwest and the southwest regions, where there is what we have the weekly ghost towns on Mondays, not only against schools, but every other form of activity, outdoor activity, which have been proscribed by the separatist fighters, and they declare Mondays as general ghost town days. So we don't go to schools. Most schools do not open their doors on Mondays, so we are forced to make up for the lost day now on Saturdays and Sundays. So basically, that's how we've been running for about 8 years.
And how well are you able to conduct your studies within the schools?
Over the years, the security narrative has evolved from the very dire conditions under which we worked 2018, 2019, 2020, and 2021. Beyond 2022, there have been some improvements in terms of security in some communities. It's not across the board. Like the school where I teach, which is the oldest public school, that's what we call government bilingual school in the entire northwest and southwest regions, it has had some reputation, and because of that we have benefited from some relatively favorable security, which other schools in and around the community do not enjoy.
Let's talk about the security quickly. Who provides the security? What do you mean when you say security?
There has been an arrangement between the administration of the school and political and administrative personnel in the town for us to have military men on campus. We have 24-hour round-the-clock military surveillance and presence on campus. They are stationed at the gates, at the main entrances, and they patrol the school campuses. So that is able to give some guarantee to parents and students and teachers. But that is not a luxury that is enjoyed by all schools, because it goes with some financial cost on the part of the school.
For the schools that don't have that kind of security, what are the threats that they face?
Separatists and the government, both sides are using the school and no school as a bargain chip to project their costs and their position. Separatists believe that if schools are taken hostage and there is no school, it would bring their grievance to the forefront. Government is making everything possible, even the unorthodox, to give a semblance of the fact that there is school and normal school functioning, so that to give the national and international community the impression that there is no problem on the ground and everything has been resolved.
That's Mr. Sam Abang Mugwa in Buea, in southwest Cameroon. The UNICEF representative in Cameroon, Nadine Perron, has been describing the impact of the crisis on education in the country.
40% of schools are still not operational, leaving more or less 224,000 children out of school. And the enrollment rate also fell to 37% in 2020. So most of the educational activities are concentrated in urban areas where school operates normally. In urban area, internally displaced children are putting enormous pressure on the primary and secondary schools, which are safer, and schools in this region are struggling to integrate IDP children.
That was the UNICEF representative in Cameroon, Nadine Perron. China says it's ready to stop charging import taxes on goods from all 53 African countries it has diplomatic ties with. This means those countries could sell their goods to China without paying extra fees. For 15 years now, Beijing has remained Africa's largest trading partner. The expanded list will include some of China's largest trading partners on the continent, including South Africa and Nigeria. China has not said when the decision will come into effect, but not everyone's included. Eswatini remains the only country left out of the deal because it recognizes Taiwan as an independent country, whereas China regards it as a breakaway province. I've been talking to Hannah Ryder, the CEO of Development Reimagined, and I started our conversation by asking her who are Africa's top exporters to China and what kind of goods are they sending.
The top exporters to China include countries like South Africa, Angola, DRC, Zambia. The vast majority of the exports to China from African countries, which are overall valued at just under 120 billion US dollars, the vast majority, 2/3 of those are raw materials. It's not unusual for that to be the case, but given the substantive amount of those exports, it does pose an issue, as well as the fact that for 38 of the 55 African countries, we have a trade deficit with China.
Let's get to the finer detail in just a moment. When you say raw materials, what kinds of goods are we talking about?
We're talking about goods like copper, lithium. We're also talking about agricultural products, sesame seeds, oil seeds, avocados from Kenya more recently. A whole range of products, and increasingly diversifying, but nevertheless often primary raw materials.
And is this important enough for China for it to make the offer that it did to African countries that it will stop charging import tariffs on goods from the countries that it has diplomatic ties with?
Yeah, it's important for China for two reasons. One, politically, with regards to the relationship with African countries, the trade deficit I mentioned, where, it means that China is sending more products to African countries and African countries are sending products to China. The amount of that is around just over 60 billion US dollars. And although it isn't continuously increasing now, there has been a real push from African countries since at least 2015 to say, China, we need you to bring more measures in order to try to close this trade deficit. We want more access to the Chinese market. And for good reason from African countries. Chinese market is valued at something like 7 trillion US dollars in comparison to the US market, which is something like 19. So it's a significant market. And so to be responsive to African concerns is, a key policy from the Chinese government. And so this is one reason why it's important for China to deal with this issue. The other one is perhaps even more self-interested in the sense of China does want to diversify its imports. So the country doesn't want to be dependent on one country or one particular region for imports, for example, of agricultural products or even some of these key extractive or critical minerals, as we call them. So that's another reason. And so opening up the Chinese market to African products also helps with that import diversification strategy.
Given the current uncertainty surrounding the Africa Growth and Opportunity Act, or AGOA, a U.S. trade arrangement that grants eligible African countries duty-free access to over 6,000 products, is the timing of this development deliberate or coincidental? The question is especially pertinent given the U.S. administration's current policy of imposing tariffs on many of the countries it is doing business with right now.
From an African point of view, this announcement couldn't come at a better time, given the uncertainty around AGOA. We've just seen, for example, that there are already some layoffs in Lesotho, in their textile factories. So finding other sources of revenue through exports and other markets is going to be very important for African governments as quickly as possible. That said, it has taken a long time to get here. African governments have been trying to push for this policy since 2021 with China and other development partners, and this is the first time that a country is recognizing it. Nevertheless, I think timing-wise, it couldn't come at a better time. From the Chinese government point of view, of course, they now have the opportunity to make the most of this geopolitically, to be able to say, we're being a better partner to the African continent than others.
Could this trade offer help to ease the debt burden many African countries owe to China, or is that an entirely separate issue? Because Angola owes a whole lot to China, followed by Ethiopia and other countries like Egypt, Zambia, Kenya, South Africa, and Nigeria. They owe a lot of money to China. Can they leverage that?
Well, I think it's not a quid pro quo, but I do think the opportunity offered by an increasing and growing market does mean, of course, that there's going to be more, ideally, hopefully, more revenues into the African countries that then allows them to pay more, pay for existing debt and also even take more debt if necessary, and hopefully cheaper debt than they have done from anyone, whether it's China or others. So I think this should be seen as an opportunity for countries to grow and to get more export revenue. But I would say it's not going to be that immediate. And I think this is where we have to be really careful because, of course, in the short term, it's going to be the countries that have, existing and perhaps emerging markets that are going to win and sectors that are already exporting to China that will win in the short term. But we have to really have a lot of intentionality and planning to ensure that in the medium and long term, it's the more processed and high value products that do go into China.
Has China given a clear timeline on when the zero tariff policy will take effect?
Not yet. And this is something that the African governments and the AU are following up. For the LDC, there was a shift in the policy previously in September that was announced, and that came into force around 2 or 3 months later. So it's probably around the same sort of timeline. But also there is a point that there are some agreements that countries will be expected to sign. We expect them to be fairly boilerplate, but we're not really sure exactly what those look like. But what we do know is this will be a preferential scheme, so it's not going to be that they have to agree to a whole set of conditions. When we talk about agreements, we tend to think, okay, maybe as economic partnership agreements that take, years to negotiate, which was the scheme for the European Union. It's not like that. This is more of a very simple structure, but still that does also need to be taken forward by a few of the countries.
That's Hannah Ryder, CEO of Development Reimagined. Small-scale farmers in Kenya are locked in a legal battle with the government, and it's all about seeds.
The Bible says that God has given us seed for food, and God provides the seed to the sower. And therefore, if our seed is going to be controlled by some other person apart from God, we are concerned, and that's why we have come to back up the petitioners in this matter.
But what we are asking the government is to listen to the cry of farmers. The certified seeds are expensive because of VAT.
They're pushing back against a law they say is too harsh. It bans the free sharing or selling of indigenous seeds unless they're registered and certified, unlike in neighboring countries like Tanzania and Uganda, where the rules are more relaxed. If caught breaking the law, farmers could face up to 2 years in jail, a fine of around $8,300, or both.
The second interested party, Biodiversity Association of Kenya, has also granted 21 days to file their submissions.
3 years ago, a group of farmers went to court. They want Kenya's High Court to strike out parts of that law they say are unfair and harmful. One of them is Charles Macharia, a smallholder farmer. He tells us why this fight matters to him.
The act is overly punitive because it favors large companies or corporations over the local farmer. It has negative impacts on food security, sovereignty, and farmers' livelihoods, bearing in mind that 80% of our food supply in this nation is grown by the smallholder farmers. So in case the farmers are not allowed to own the seeds and grow what they can afford and what is available within their localities, then it becomes punitive.
Kenya is one of 10 African countries with laws that strictly regulate seed production, from how they're developed and tested to how they are marketed. The government argues certified seeds offer better yields, protect against food insecurity, and stop the spread of crop diseases. Not everyone agrees. Elizabeth Atieno is a food campaigner with Greenpeace Africa, which is backing the farmers in court, and she says there's a whole lot more to the story. I started by asking her a very simple question. What's the difference between indigenous seeds and certified ones?
Certified seeds are what now in the market they call the quality seeds. These are seeds that have undergone a few quality aspects where they're saying that they've been tested and they have some uniformity to them and they are registered.
Would these be GMO modified, genetically modified seeds?
GMOs fall under the certified seeds because in these there are those industrial criteria where they're looking at uniformity, stability, distinctiveness, and most of the time you find that these standards do not suit indigenous seeds because these are seeds that are locally adapted seeds. They don't meet those criteria in terms of uniformity, not because they are inferior, and that's also another thing. That is because you find that most of these indigenous seeds they are genetically diverse. They are adapted to specific ecosystem. They are managed by communities and not just for commercial use.
So why does the Kenyan government want to, or why has it legislated against indigenous seeds?
So that's why I was giving you the background to where this started, because most African countries, if you want to become a member of UPOV, then you have to align your national seed policy to what UPOV is saying. There's also one area which is the free trade agreements, such as the World Trade Organization. We have like some specific agreements like the one we had between United States, Mexico, and Canada. These trade agreements, they are bilateral deals that you have to adapt to UPOV 91. That is like a precondition for market access.
Just remind us, what does UPOV stand for again?
Oh, sorry. So when you talk about UPOV, it's International Union for the Protection of New Varieties of Plants.
International Union for the Protection of New Varieties of Plants.
Yeah.
So why was the law passed, and who were the main sponsors of it?
So basically, UPOV is just a concept for plant breeders' rights, and there's a lot of lobbying behind that. So when UPOV was coming on board, we saw a lot of lobbying from agribusiness giants. They were lobbying for this because for them that's standard, and that's how they wanted these countries to do business when it comes to seeds. So that's why we basically say the laws are not there for the people. It's basically for profit. It's there to profit these multinational companies and not really small-scale farmers.
Farmers fear that if the law is fully enforced, they'll be forced to rely on imported hybrid seeds, making them more dependent and stripping away the traditional seed systems that communities have relied on for generations. Charles Macharia says indigenous seeds have been passed down over centuries and are well suited to local climates, soils, and farming practices. Now, all eyes are on the High Court, which is expected to deliver its judgment on November the 27th. Farmers and food campaigners say they are hopeful. They believe this could be a landmark ruling, one that not only protects seed sovereignty in Kenya, but sets a precedent globally.
We're definitely going to win, because another thing about this law is it's against the Constitution of Kenya. You look at the different articles of the Constitution, for example, Article 11.3, where it's talking about the government is supposed to recognize and protect indigenous seeds. That is in the Constitution. You look at Article 2.6, which is also talking about the contravention of international treaties, clearly say that a country is supposed to protect indigenous knowledge and also processes. You are looking at the violation of rights. You're looking at the issue of right to food, because if you are limiting my access to seeds, which is what I use to get my food, then you're limiting my right to food. We continue to see other countries fighting this and winning. So we are also hoping that our judicial system can also be able to look at this and also learn from that and see that there's need for amendment. We are not saying do away with the whole act. We are just saying amend this specific punitive to stop criminalizing indigenous seeds and also protect indigenous seeds.
And farmers, of course.
Yes.
That's Elizabeth Atieno, a food campaigner with Greenpeace Africa. Focus on Africa was put together by Bella Hassan here in London, Blessing Aderogba in Lagos, and Richard Kagoe in Nairobi. Paul Chibinga was our senior producer, and Chris Kuzaris, our technical producer. Andre Lombard and Alice Mudengi are our editors. I'm Audrey Brown, and we'll talk again next time.
Talk radio.
I listen to a lot of talk radio.
95.1 FM.
Say no to the ordinary. Embrace the extraordinary, because we are the voice of the people. Voice of the people. Today, 95.1 FM.
Today, 95.1 FM.
Red is passion. Pink is for unconditional love. Blue is for loyalty. While black is secretive and mysterious.
Let's talk about love. the passion, the bliss, the betrayal, and everything in between. On Lovey Dovey, Mondays to Thursdays from 11 p.m. beneath the night sky with the Amaka Felix on Today 95.1 FM.
Dream that I was sinking slow motion. Every superficial moment, I get overwhelmed in all the messy emotions. It's so that I never noticed. Every time I cry, I get a little bit stronger, stronger. I know that angel used to be the devil on my shoulder, shoulder. Oh, not anymore. When the voices get loud, I'm turning them down. Feel good in my body forever and ever. When the tears start to fall, I'm catching them all. And I know the future is better. 'Cause every time I cry, I get a little bit stronger, stronger, little bit stronger. Every time I cry, I get a little bit stronger, stronger, little bit stronger. I used to spend the nights inside my head thinking, where the hell you think you're going? I used to count the days inside my bed drinking. The food, but now I'm knowing. When the voices get loud, I'm turning them down. Feel good in my body forever and ever. When the tears start to fall, I'm catching them all. And I know the future is better. 'Cause every time I cry, I get a little bit stronger, stronger, little bit stronger. Every time I cry, I get a little bit stronger, stronger, little bit stronger. When the voices get loud, I'm turning them down. Feel good in my body forever and ever. When the tears start to fall, I'm catching them all. And I know the future is better. 'Cause every time I cry, I get a little bit stronger, stronger, little bit stronger. Every time I cry, I get a little bit stronger, stronger, little bit stronger. Every time I cry, I get a little bit stronger, stronger, little bit stronger. Every time I cry, I get a little bit stronger, stronger, little bit stronger. Oh, she's sweet but a psycho, a little bit psycho. At night she's screaming, I'm on my mind. Oh, she's hot but a psycho, so left but she's right though. At night she's screaming, I'm on my mind. She'll make you curse, but she a blessing. She'll rip your shirt within a second. You'll be coming back for seconds with your play. You just can't help it. No, you'll play along. Let her lead you on. You'll be saying no, then saying yes, 'cause she messes house is snoring. My heavy eyes, I can never seem to close them. My running mind just can't catch it when it's going. Is it late at night or is it early in the morning? Only so many sheep a girl can count. Patchouli candles burning out. I tried to meditate it all away, but damn it, it's too quiet now. Daylight helps distract my head. Monsters hide under my bed. They bother me with all kinds of things, like where do I go when I'm dead? Is it too much to ask for a sweet dream? Need to step back from my feelings. Life is not so bad when I'm sleeping. Is it too much to ask? Too much to ask for a sweet dream? For a sweet dream. 6:58, sun's peeking through the curtains. I drift away, suddenly the wheels are turning. Songs are in my head, scary thoughts begin to worsen. Once I'm wide awake, it's too hard to reverse it. Chirping, birds are flying around my house. Patchouli candles burning out. I try to meditate it all away, but damn it, it's too quiet now. Daylight helps distract my head. Monsters hide under my bed. They bother me with all kinds of things, like that one stupid thing I said. Is it too much to ask for a sweet dream? Need to step back from my feelings. Life is not so bad when I'm sleeping. Is it too much to ask? Too much to ask for a sweet dream? For a sweet dream. Sweet dream. For a sweet dream. Sandman, can you visit me? All I want is a sweet dream. 8:31, I'm slurring every word now. I pray this cold coffee helps me with the rebound. How does everybody I know how to sleep sound? When we're all a mess, I guess the only way out is a sweet dream. Sweet dream, sweet dream. Is a sweet dream. Sweet dream. Oh yeah. Is a sweet dream. I should've locked the door, pinned myself to the floor, made someone cover my eyes.
So there was a part of me that thought that I would have some sort of welcome back speech or comeback speech. Like there had to be something or some things I would have to tell you, you know, maybe dry explanations here and there. But the problem is, as it currently stands, my head is tabula rasa. I'm blank, baby. I'm so blank. There's nothing going on in my head. I'm just, the only thing in my head basically right about now would be how to make so much money. And you cannot blame me. I live in Nigeria. And I'm trying to navigate this whole adulthood thing. I feel like I chose the wrong time to be an adult. Because Kai, what is all these expenses? What are all these expenses that somebody has to bother about? You know, you have to buy this, you have to pay this. I low-key feel like I should just go back to my parents' house and sit down. Because I don't understand people that are doing, there's a few doing this adult thing, and if you're doing it well, what? More grease to your elbow, hey. More grease to whatever it is you're doing this adulthood with, or wherever you're doing this adulthood from. More grease to that place. Anyway, my darling, did you miss me? Did you miss me? How are you doing? If you missed me, I'm going to need indications. I'm going to need proof that you missed me. Yeah, I would like to, hear one or two things. So if you missed me, and then when you call me, you can tell me that you missed me, and you can tell me why you missed me. So because it's been a minute, right? So we had to do some maintenance here. We know that these things that we use are man-made. And sometimes the equipment will tell you, look, I'm tired, I need to rest, right? So, and then when they tell you they're tired like that, I'm not talking literally, I'm not saying that they speak to us, so please, they're not giving la boo-boo. Okay? But just, how these things happen. So, plus, I was not even in town. I needed a breather, so I had to take care of one or two things, so I had to be away. Laurie Devi would have continued anyway, but due to circumstances beyond our control. So I apologize. We apologize for the break in transmission. We apologize for the break in transmission while we are here, and Lovey Dovey continues like we never left. Thank you for sticking with us through thick and thin. You're always there. I love how you guys are always there. I love how you send me messages when you don't find me, when you don't hear from me. You text me. You guys are in my DM. You text me. You tell me, oh look, where are you? What's going on? I haven't heard your voice. This one, that one. I love how you check up on me and try to make sure that I'm okay. And if Lovey Dovey is not happening, you guys are texting me wanting to find out why and all of that. I love it for you guys. I love it for me. I love that I have such an amazing Lovey Dovey army, and that we get to do the things that we do here. I love that you listen to me all the time, that you guys show me that you care about me and all of that, because I love you right back and I care about you right back. And so I try to be available for you, as much as I can be. It's so beautiful having amazing people in your corner, and that can never be overemphasized. Well, it is what it is. Well, a lot of things have been happening. Hey, crazy things are happening. Crazy things are happening. Hey, it just choke on teeth. Don't worry, I want to sharpen my singing skills, because this year's year we release albums. Yeah, well, I do not know if I'm going to be releasing the albums for people to hear, for people to listen to, because I love you guys, so I'm going to protect your ears, make sure you don't go deaf. As a result of, something I sang, but I don't think I sound so terrible when I sing. I don't know, but I don't think I sound so terrible. I have people around me who will tell me that I sound terrible if I did. Plus, you guys can tell me whether or not I sound terrible when I sing, because I like to sing for you guys, just make you feel good like that. And I love to do things that will make you happy. I'm all in for your happiness, basically. So it is what it is. Anyway, beautiful people, I do hope that you have had an amazing time so far. I hope you're good. I hope, that you've been navigating through the challenges of being Nigerian, being a Nigerian, living in Nigeria, all the crazy that comes with, adulthood and the things that we have to deal with right about now. I hope that you can find soft landing. Yeah. Well, on tonight's episode, I'm asking the question, when is the right time to say I love you? When is the right time to say I love you? When is the right time to say I love you? When is the right time to say I love you? When is the right time to say I love you? When is the right time to say I love you? When is the right time to say I love you? When is the right time to say I love you? When is the right time to say I love you? When is the right time to say I love you? When is the right time to say I love you? When would you tell somebody that you love them? when would you use the L words? Is it when you feel pressured to, maybe by the other person, or is it when you feel that you have genuinely fallen for this person? And how would you know whether it is love or lost? How do you draw the line between love and lost? Well, that's the conversation on the table tonight, and you already know that I will be taking your calls and your messages when I open the phone lines. You get to share that with me. But because this is going to be more or less a comeback episode, I'm going to be bombarding you with songs. I will be doing a lot of songs, so I hope you're ready to just enjoy yourself this night, because if I don't sprinkle some sugar, spice, and everything nice, who will do it now? If I don't do it, then who will? If I don't take care of you, who will? So this is me taking care of you, making sure that you're having fun-filled nights. Plus the weather is cold. Because the weather is cold, I need to make sure that I give you what I can give you from my end. So if you're on top of any mountain in form of a human being, come down from there. That pass costs. But of course, if you're trying to make a baby, go ahead, please. I've been seeing some really cute children lately. I don't know, I told somebody today that I want a baby. Okay, do I want a baby now? I don't know. No, not like immediately. They will have to go and do something on my head first. Okay, they will have to go and see my father first. But do I want a baby? Yes. Oh my god, I'm obsessed with children that are so cute. I cannot even help it. As long as your baby is cute, I will want to hold that child. So when I come across cute babies, I don't know if I'm the only one who does that, or so I told somebody this, and they wanted to look like, oh, why do you have this whole mother thing going on, that mother hen thing going on? I don't know, I just like it when I hold babies. And so you see this period that is raining cats and dogs, dear man, avoid me, please. Yes, I want a baby or babies, but no, you have to go and see my daddy first. Now, for those of you who are climbing places, and those of you that they are climbing, well done. No, me, I'm just greeting you from here. I'm just greeting you from here. I'm just saying hello to you. Welcome to tonight's episode of Love You David, my darlings. We are back like we never left. I'm back like I never left. Well, I did take a short trip. I did go on vacay, but I'm here with you now, and so I'm going to continue where we left off. And tonight we're talking about when the right time would be, at least according to you, to still use the L words. When it's the right time to say I love you. So to all the people who use the L word loosely, come and sit down now, grab your seat, grab your place at the table, and then let's have this conversation. Because some of you be lying. Oh my god. Some of you be lying so much. You use the word I love you loosely. You use the words I love you loosely. You say I love you to people that you do not love. People you have no intentions of loving. I don't know why you do that. Please, if you want to sleep with somebody, just tell them you want to sleep with them. Be honest. And I know that a lot of you say that women like lies. Women love to hear lies. Women, if you tell them you want to sleep with them, they will not believe you. They will be angry. They'll be mad at you. But when you bring the relationship, when you tell them you love them, then they will be easy to sleep with. Please, oh. Sometimes it's true, Sha. Sometimes it's true. At times when women are, women decide to be gullible like that, I find it appalling. For me, reverse is the case, actually. I would really rather you tell me you want to have sex with me. I can find it offensive. I will find it offensive because, why have you objectified me in your head? Why do you look at me and what you see is a woman you want to sleep with? Yeah, while some people might find it flattering because that, it means that you are sexually appealing, or that you have a great sex appeal or something. I don't quite see it like that, but I'm asking, why don't you see me as a woman you want to do business with? Why don't you see me as a woman you want to invest millions of naira? I have a brand. Why have you why don't you see me as a woman you would like to give, and you would like to invest in? You ask me, what's your brand about? What do you do? And then you invest in me, and then we make money together. Why do you see me and then what you want to do is sleep with me? Why do you see me and then you want to bang me? What's that? What's all that? Okay, so while there's the whole, women love to be lied to. If you tell a woman that you want to have sex with her, she's going to be angry, she's going to be this one and that one. But if you tell her, you love her and you want a relationship with her, then you can get to sleep with her. Well, that's not out of place. It's not completely false. But I think that women are getting to the point where they are living more. They are getting in tune with the reality. And they have begun to tell themselves that, look, it is possible for a man to just find you sexually appealing and then want to sleep with you. So a couple of years ago, let me give you guys this quick gist. You guys know I love to give you gist. So a couple of years ago, I had an ear infection. What's that? What is an ear infection? Gunga. But I should know that my ear was just giving me attitude, One of it. Yeah, my ear was giving me attitude. And so, I went to the doctor, and this doctor, my mom's office, they have like a clinic. So I went to use their clinic, went to their doctor. I said, mommy, look at what's going on. She said, come to the clinic. And so I went to the clinic. And then doctor, I noticed his, vibe, the vibe he gave to me, but I didn't want to, because like I've said before on the show, I don't like to assume that a man is interested in me. I don't like to assume that a man wants to sleep with me or that he wants to date me or something. I like to wait until you open your mouth and talk. So sometimes I can tell that a man likes me, if he makes it obvious via his actions. Sometimes women, we know these things. But I think make I know act like I know, because until you open your mouth and tell me, I'm just going to assume that it can be anything, that you are most likely you're possibly just trying to be a friend. You're trying to be friendly, like that's who you are. You're friendly. That's it. I do not like to assume, because men can be funny, right? So I just noticed he was kind of somehow, but then I didn't want to pay attention. I'm like, okay, maybe that's the way he is. And so dude says, we don't have this particular eardrop. I'm going to write out the prescription for you, or you have to go and look for it in this pharmacy. Go to this. He told me the pharmacy to go to, that they would have it. I said, okay, that's fine. So he writes down the prescription, the eardrops and whatever. And then he says, okay, so here's my number. He writes down his number as well. And then he says, call me when you get there. And I'm like, why? He's like, so call me when you get there so I can tell the pharmacist what to give to you. And I'm like, I thought that's what you wrote here. I'm like, I thought that's what you wrote here. He's like, yeah, but call me when you get there so I can speak with her. Let her know that I'm the one who sent you. I said, okay, well, I was going to tell her it was you anyway, but if you insist I call you, I will. And then he smiles and says, please call me. And I say, okay. So I get to the pharmacy, and then I tell her, look, I'm from this person. She says, okay, doctor, this, that. And she's like, okay, let me see your prescription. She looks at the paper, and then she's like, we don't have this, but I can give you this and that. And like, anyway, he says I should call him and tell him that, what's it called now? I should call him to inform him I'm here and stuff. She's like, okay, you can go ahead and call him. And so I called him and I said, look, the one you wrote, because he did write the alternative. He said, if I don't find this, I should go with this. I'm like, well, she said they don't have this, but they have this. You wrote it here. So, he's like, yeah, so I should go with that one, that's cool and stuff. Long story short, dude wanted my number. I don't know why he couldn't ask. well, he's a doctor. He was my doctor at the time. He was treating me, so I most likely would have given him, at least on the premise of I was treating an ear infection or something like that. And I would have loved to be able to call him and say, look, my ear is doing tingly, tingly, tingly. What should I do? Because I love to have, doctors or nurses at my disposal. I love to have health professionals at my disposal. So if my eye twitches uncomfortably, I'm calling a doctor. My eye is twitching. Why is it twitching? I mean, I don't know if you do that, but I do that a lot. I have my nurses. They used to yam me in my hand. What? My hand is doing like this. Why is it doing like this? Can you explain this to me, please? If I feel some type of pain in my breast, I'm calling my nurse. I'm calling my nurse. What's going on here? And so, we eventually start talking, this doctor and I. From how are you? How's your ear? Oh, make sure that you religiously administer your ear drop. Oh, do this. In the morning, he's calling me. Have you administered this morning stuff? Oh, absolutely, and this one. So, communication kept up. So I traveled out of the state, and then, I went somewhere else, and then came back after a while to visit again. And then, he goes, oh, well, let's meet up. Let's see, you're in town. Let's see, and stuff. We kept up communication. And so the next time I'm in town, he says, so let's go out and stuff. So we did go out. He took me to this spot where they have like one nice jollof rice and turkey. I think that was like banga rice. No, pepper rice. Oh, yes. I don't know, but these people have something that they call pepper rice. And the pepper rice was mad. Yeah, so he took me to have this nice pepper rice and turkey, and it was giving like it was hey, it was giving bedu with a buzz brain. It was really delicious, and and so I was so appreciative and stuff. And all of that happened, and I had to travel again, so I had to go back to base, and we kept up communication. But I noticed that after that time, he stopped talking to me. Communication died and stuff. So one time I reached out, I was like, what's me and me? I think I saw my own bad character. If I notice that you have withdrawn, I might not notice it immediately. That's the first. Except I like you like that. But if you just date, if you're just like a friend, like on the surface or an acquaintance, I most likely will not notice it like that as quickly as I should have, or I should. And so I got to notice it sometime later, and I reached out, like, okay, what's up? So I noticed I would reach out to him to ask, how are you? How are you? And his responses were like he was cold, like he was avoiding me. And so this one time I asked him, I said, Oga, what happened? Is there a problem? What's with the whole cold response? I mean, you came on to me and then suddenly you are doing cold. Waiting, kilo shele gun. And then guess what this dude says to me? So, in what I would refer to as the most embarrassing thing to hear from a doctor, he tells me, so he's incredibly sexually attracted to me, and he really, really, really just wants to have sex with me. So it's messing with his mind, because he knows I'm not that type of girl. I don't play ball like that. He said, for the fact that we've been talking for a while, I've given him, he knows, that I'm not going to have sex with him anytime soon. And so he's trying to, gather his thoughts and put his head in the right place. Because I'm like, no big gathers with this. I'm like, no big gathers with this. What's going on here? How do you go from, talking to somebody normally and stuff, and then to doing this whole thing where you no longer want to talk to me because you started fantasizing about me sexually. So in your head, the one thing you want to do is to, how did they say it in Igbo again? Dum bam bam bam. Dude wanted to finish me. Like in his head, he has already finished me. I said, what's going on here? Is that how you used to do? Is that how you people behave around here? I'm like, wow, woo, that's a long way to go. But anyway, so I eventually let him go. I eventually let the friendship end. It did not end immediately, but I had to give him his way since, now he has said this was the problem. And then trying to maintain that friendship with me was a constant trigger, for him. It was a reminder of what he wanted to do with me, what he wanted to do to me. And then since it wasn't on the table, he was trying to avoid me and all of that. So I did appreciate his honesty, because I like the fact that he did not try to front a relationship. He told me what he wanted to do with me, and so, and he kind of gave me the chance to choose. So by telling me if I was game, if I wanted to play ball, I would have said, oh, okay, I'm cool with this, right? And then, so sometimes honesty is important. And ladies, you too, when they tell you that they really just want to bam bam, listen to them. Don't think that they are lying or they are faking it. Sometimes the sex can be so good and a relationship can blossom out of the sex. It happens. It's not out of place. We've had that conversation on WW here when we said that sometimes the sex can be really good and then dude is falling in love the next minute. For me, I feel like that relationship is starting on shaky grounds. But it works still. It is something that can work. So women, when a man tells you that he really just wants to have sex with you, believe him. And then you tell yourself what you want to do. It's either you want to have sex with him or you don't want to have sex with him. Now, do not have sex with him expecting him to love you or to fall in love with you after the sex. It doesn't always happen that way. No matter how good you think the sex was, right? Be in tune with reality. Stay in touch with reality. Don't go and build castles in the air. And when it doesn't play out the way you expected it to, the way you have conjured in your head, you begin to insist that, oh, he played you for a fool, he took advantage of you. Bro, he didn't do nothing, because he told you from the start that he really, really, really wanted to just bam bam. You are the one that went to go and look for love when they tell you that, when somebody told you that he wanted to just bam bam, you say you want to do love. Because I don't understand how you would want to do that to yourself. I don't get that. So beautiful people, when is the right time to say I love you to somebody? Is it when you feel it in your heart and your body? Your heart and your body. Say, baby girl, I will love with you. Or is it when you want to have sex with a person? When you're trying to deceive somebody, when you feel like, oh, this person will only have sex with you if you play the love card. Do you think that that's when you should say, I love you? Well, lovey-dovey is here, my darlings. You and I are going to talk. I'll open the phone lines after now. You will call me. You will tell me when you think the right time to say I love you would be. At the start of the relationship, in the middle, or somewhere down the line. And who do you think should say I love you first? The person who actually falls in love first, or should it be a man or men-dominated field? The concept of saying I love you. Should it be a men-dominated field where only men should say I love you to women? Do you think that men should say I love you to women first? Sometimes in some weddings you would have the whole couples games, and the couples would be asked, so who said I love you first? And most times you'd notice it's the man who says I love you first. Anyway, I'd love to know. I would really, really, really like to know what you think. Who should say I love you first? When is the right time to say I love you? Do you think these are words that should be used loosely? Or should you say I love you when you genuinely feel that way for this person? when would be the ideal time to express your love for a person? Would the beginning of the relationship be too soon? Would it be at the talking stage? Because some people fall in love during talking stage. So if you're still talking to this person and you know you've got feelings, do you think it's right? Would it be proper for you to go ahead and say I love you to this person even when the relationship is in that talking stage? Well, it's lovey-dovey, so it's pretty. Enjoy amazing songs and of course this amazing conversation, because the queen of nightlife is here.
I just want you close, where you can stay forever. You can be so that it will only get better. You and me together through the days and nights. I don't worry 'cause everything's gonna be alright. People keep talking, they can say what they like, but all I know is everything's gonna be alright. No one, no one, no one can get in the way of what I'm feeling. No one, no one, no one can get in the way of what I feel for you. You can get in the way of what I feel for you. When the rain is pouring down and my heart is hurting, you will always be around. This I know for certain. You and me together through the days and nights. I don't worry 'cause everything's gonna be alright. People keep talking, they can say what they like, but all I know is everything's gonna be alright. No one, no one, no one can get in the way of what I'm feeling. No one, no one, no one can get in the way of what I feel for you. You get in the way of what I feel. I know some people search the world to find something like what we have. I know people will try to divide something so real. So till the end of time, I'm telling you there ain't no one, no one, no one can get in the way of what I'm feeling. No one, no one, no one can get in the way of what I feel for you. Oh, 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 oh,
There ain't no gold
choose what I chose to do. So go easy on me. There ain't no room for things to change when we are both so deeply stuck in our ways. You can't deny how hard I've tried. I changed who I was to put you both first, but now I give up. Go easy on me, baby. I was still a child, didn't get the chance to feel the world around me. Had no time to choose what I chose to do. So go easy on me. I had good intentions and the highest hopes, but I know right now that probably doesn't even show. Go easy on me, baby. I was still a child, I didn't get the chance to feel the world around me. I had no time to choose what I chose to do. So go easy on me.
You can change for your partner without changing who you are. This is something that I really struggle with when my wife would tell me she needed me to change things that I felt like just was who I was as a person. And I realized that that wasn't true. You know, if she was asking me to talk to her differently than I talk to my family or my friends, why can't I do that? If she's asking me to give her more attention, why can't I do that? If she's asking me to wring out my bath towels after I'm done taking a shower and hang them on the rack, why can't I do that? These are just skills that I need to build. It's not really changing who I am. Because who I am is always who I'm going to be. I can't change the core of my being, but I can build and acquire the skills that I need to communicate to her and love her and show her affection how she needs. It's all about knowing who you are as a person and not confusing that with skills that you need to build to love the person who you say that you love. So acquire those skills because they will go a long way, and it has nothing to do with who you are as a person.
A happy wife gives you a happy life, that's for sure, 100%. So you make sure that your wife, your partner is happy. And by happiness means you have to understand her. When she goes in a mental breakdown or emotional breakdown, you have to be there, not just sit down like, oh, here we go again. No, to show her that, yes, to listen to her, what are her problems. For us men, maybe these problems are probably silly. Yeah. Okay, because we don't understand it as men. Like when you tell me your silly problems, I'll be like, Lumi, come on, shut up and be a man.
Yeah, of course.
You know, you shouldn't be treating your wife or your partner like this. You have to understand her. You have to listen to her. A happy wife gives you a happy.
Date your wife before someone else does. You dated her to marry her. Keep dating her to stay married to her. If you got dressed up and spent money and made plans and flirted with her to get married, keep doing those things to stay married. This is the big myth for men. They think that marriage is a finish line. It's not. It's a starting line. A lot of guys, law of pursuit, like, I'm so excited. Now we're married. I'm done. No. That's the starting line. And then as a man, your energy, your desire, your passion has to be intensely devoted toward your wife.
Women get bored with monogamy much sooner than men.
Really?
Yes.
That's not what men think.
No, men think she's not interested in sex. And what they should probably replace it with is that she's not interested in the sex she's going to have. In order to want sex, it needs to be sex that is worth wanting. For women to remain interested, it needs to be interesting. It's not about having more sex. You can have more sex and not feel much. It's about making it more alive and vibrant. That is what much of my work is about, is cultivating the eroticism and the aliveness in relationships. Women get bored with monogamy much sooner than men.
Really?
Yes.
That's not what men think.
No, men think she's not interested in sex. And what they should probably replace it with is that she's not interested in the sex she's going to have. In order to want sex, it needs to be sex that is worth wanting. For women to remain interested, it needs to be interesting. It's not about having more sex. You can have more sex and not feel much. It's about making it more alive and vibrant. That is what much of my work is about, is cultivating the eroticism and the aliveness in relationships.
The body is good for you. Dude, spooning, cuddling, skin to skin, long hugs, kisses over 6 seconds. The benefits of sex, believe it or not, are actually not from the intercourse themselves. They're from the rise, the impact on a pleasure hormone called oxytocin. So cuddling, kissing, skin-to-skin snuggling, these have really positive physiologic consequences in the human body. The body is good for you. Dude, spooning, cuddling, skin to skin, long hugs, kisses over 6 seconds. The benefits of sex, believe it or not, are actually not from the intercourse themselves. They're from the rise, the impact on a pleasure hormone called oxytocin. So cuddling, kissing, skin-to-skin snuggling, these have really positive physiologic consequences in the human body.
Okay, my babies. That is, if you consider yourself my baby, some of you have babies. I know. Anyway, we are all going to be here. So, I did tell you that because this is a comeback episode and I'm coming back with a bang, So, of course, amazing stuff will happen. The clips I played for you guys, constant reminders. On Lovey Dovey, you know that our slogan is learning, unlearning, and relearning, of course. So, we learn as per some things you were not aware of, the things you didn't know before now. You get to learn them right here on Lovey Dovey. The things that you know, that you have learned over time that are not exactly right, the things that you should drop in 1950 because that is exactly where it belongs, we unlearn on Lovey Dovey, okay? We unlearn over here because you get to drop those things in 1950 where they belong, and then you move with the tide. We are in 2025. It's the 21st century, baby, so you get to move with the tide right here on Lovey Dovey. That's what we do. And then relearning. Some of you know how to know good stuff, you learn good stuff, but then over time you drop the good stuff and then you pick up bad stuff. I don't know why you do that, but then I think life happens. I would make up that excuse, For some people, life happened, this one and that one. Anyway, no problem. So you relearn those things as per. We go back to the drawing board and we pick up the good habits, we pick up the good stuff, and then we bring it back on board, Just so you do those things and then everybody is happy. You feel good. Okay, you feel good. All right, my darling. So we're talking tonight. When is the right time to say I love you? Those clips are reminders, things that you need to do. Married people, single people, know what you're walking into as you're walking into it. It's just you being armed. I'm trying to arm you. Okay, more or less a situation of preparing you for the future, so that when you dive in, you know what you are doing. Okay, you know what you are doing. We don't want to make mistakes over here. Ultimately, God is our helper, right? But as humans, we have to do what we have to do as humans, at least. Okay? All right. So, when's the right time to say I love you? I did ask that question. When is the right time to say I love you? Is there a thing as the perfect time to say I love you? Is there a perfect thing? Is there a thing as the perfect time to say the words I love you? Is it something that you have in existence where you think that, oh, it has to be this time, at this time? You create such perfect timing in your head, and then you tell yourself that, oh, it's now or never. This is a perfect time to say I love you to somebody. This is the perfect time for me to tell this person that I love them. Is there such a thing as perfect timing? What do you think? Well, according to some relationship experts, right, there are certain stages one must go through before love is formed and expressed verbally. According to some relationship experts, there are certain stages one must go through before love is formed and expressed verbally. So, saying I love you too quickly might not be real, might not be true, might not be ideal. So if at the beginning, that's why I did mention the whole talking stage. Do people fall in love during talking stage, the moment where you're getting to know somebody? So can it happen that in the process of getting to know somebody, you already have butterflies in your stomach? You already have butterflies in your stomach, or would you have grasshoppers instead? If you don't have butterflies, do you have grasshoppers? Do you have grasshoppers? Do you have... What are these insects? I used to know insects so much. Why are they flying away from me? I do not want to call flies. I don't want to mention flies or ants. No. I don't want to use those insects, please. I want to use the insects that are not... I want to use insects that are not common. So, oh, bees. Oof. The only problem with bees is, when they sting. Okay, the problem would be when they sting. Anyway, so If at the talking stage you begin to feel butterflies in your stomach for somebody, for the person that you are talking to or talking with, do you think that's the perfect time to say that you love them, to tell them that you love them, when a relationship is yet to be placed on the table, when what you have going on is talking stage, as in talking stage, and you are yet to put a name or a tag to the talking stage? You have not moved from talking stage to relationship, or from talking stage to situationship and then to relationship. Would that be the ideal time for you to express yourself verbally to this person, for you to tell them that you love them? Would that be the ideal time for you to say the L word? Yeah, think about it. Well, for some others, there are some other relationship experts that will tell you, if you feel it, say it. Yeah, if you feel it, say it. If you love somebody, walk up to them and tell them you love them. If you love somebody, walk up to them and tell them you love them. If you love me, walk up to me and tell me you love. No, don't walk up to me. Now that I think about it, don't walk up to me, please. Umbak. It depends. If you're coming with flowers and chocolates, then you can walk up to me. Long and short, please, I'm materialistic. Yeah, I'm not a wife material. I'm sure that's how you people judge around here. In Nigeria, once a woman says, oh, she wants this one and she wants that one, boom, she's not a wife material, she's materialistic. No problem. You see me, an understanding girlfriend. I don't come out my hand for you to be concerned, understanding girlfriend. So no. I'm not. I know they understand. Lie. I know they understand. Thank you. So if you love me and you want to walk up to me to tell me you love me, no problem. Just have a chocolate in hand. Chocolates, yeah, I'm a chocolates and flowers girl. So chocolates, flowers, and all the mendes of life. Then you can walk up to me with things like that and tell me you love me, and then I will smile and blush and all the things that girls do. I might not love you back, okay? I might not love you back, but I promise you I will blush. I promise you I will blush. That is, if my blushing would mean anything to you. But I promise you I would blush, okay? So yeah, we can do that. For some other relationship experts, they tell you, if you feel it, say it. So as they hot, drop it like it's hot, baby. Drop it like it's hot. Ooh, I'm in the mood for some twerking right about now, but I feel so heavy these days. I've been feeling so heavy. I don't know. I think I'm adding weight, and that is so far. I'm going through a lot. I don't know why I'm adding weight. Anyway, so if you feel it, say it. Some relationship experts would advise, and for these people, this group of people, they insist that there's no perfect time for expressing, yourself to a person if you feel that you love them. So for this other group of relationship experts, they tell you that, look, if you feel it, say it. If you feel that you love somebody, tell them that you love them. There's no perfect timing. Who sets the timelines after all? So if you think that this is the time for me to say, oh, I love you, I'm going to go ahead and say, oh, I love you. Yeah. So I'm opening the phone lines right about now to talk to you, beautiful people. I'm asking the questions. When do you think people should use the L word? When do you think people should say I love you? At the start of a relationship, during talking stage, or when they feel they've fallen in love? Is there such a thing as the perfect time to say I love you? Do you think there's such a thing as the perfect time to say I love you? Well, I'd like to know. So phone lines are open, hit me up. I don't know why people are already calling me. Can you people calm down? These phone lines are buzzing me. Calm down. A day for you. We got a day. All right, so hit me up 0817 0000951, 0817 0000951, 0810 951 0951, 0810 951 0951. Okay, the phone lines are already giving a lot, but you can now call me and then I day for you so that I can have peace. Hello.
You now have peace.
Well, the peace, like if you want to take away my peace, you want to take away my peace.
We love you too much. You are too sweet. I may want lick you finish.
Wahala day, more I no triumph.
May the peace of the Lord be unto you.
Amen. Oh, and be unto you too. How are you?
I'm good. I'm fluffy, sugary. But I'm feeling to like ice and try that nice.
Wow.
By the way, greetings to every Nakademus in the house.
Wahala deal.
All the Nakademus.
Please, everybody here is innocent. We don't do that around here. Thank you.
Nobody on this show, nobody is innocent apart from me.
I don't know what you're talking about. You say what? Look at you, this one.
Nobody is clean apart from me. Everybody that I've called into the show so far. I don't know about you though. I'm talking to myself now. So everybody that I've called into the show so far, everybody has something that apart from me. And sometimes somebody, my copy is not down to. I'm thinking of to. So everybody apart from me, every time has something. Okay. I'm so happy. Let me introduce myself formally now. For those that are hearing my voice for the first time, for those that are wondering who is this guy, my full name is Inajiri Samuel, aka known as the Music Emperor. Yeah. Okay. Now let's get down to business. First of all, let me start from that beginning stage, meeting the person for the very first time, but applies in his bed. And all that. It has to. Do you know that there are two things involved?
Mm-hmm.
That part whereby butterflies in the belly and all of that. Belle is see the person, the two person, and all that. You know that there is some infatuation, the love part of it. Yeah, for normal occurrences and all of that. Yes, it's true. Yes, not possible. But do you know that sometimes these things are arranged from the divine.
Okay.
Yeah, they are arranged from the divine because some people, they see their life partner, they see their husband in their dreams even before they see them in reality. Not like they marry them, but they see that face, that person that the Lord has designed for them. That this is your wife, this is your husband, this is the person you marry and all that. They meet them, they see that face in subconscious, from meeting them in the conscious. And nothing that promises that. How do we know if it's divine? It's divine because if you have a good relationship with the Creator, with the Lord, you understand? He can, because there are things he will not keep away from. There are things he will tell you that, like for example, this one, sending someone to you. This is the first thing you marry. This is the first thing you settle down, and you see that person, and that will be it, and that's how it begins. So remember on this show, the time I told you that when you see the person, that person that is the right person for you, that is something that that will strike, that will struck immediately. Sometimes meeting the person for the very first time. So it is two ways. If it's not real, it is just your mind, it is just situation all over. But if it's real, then right. I would love to tell you a story concerning that divine because I have a story to share. Something like a couple that was interviewed on African independent television in those days. That time it was just free to air.
But we have couples today who still talk about the whole divine thing.
Yeah.
Okay. So for you, right? For you, would you say that people can begin to say I love you at any time? Do you belong to the group of people or the school of thought that insists that whenever a person begins to feel love, yeah, he or she should tell the next person that this is how they feel.
Thanks very much. Now this puzzle, let me arrange it now because you brought it. So I'm gonna arrange it my own way. The others can do the same. So for me, I don't believe in that method that you say what you say. If you mean it, you say it, and meaning it is when it is genuine. By the way, we know that we have different kind of love, the eros, the phineas, the agape, and all of that. So whether it's the eros or whether it's the one for affection or, and all of that, if you mean it, say it. Not if you feel it, say it. For me, if you mean it, say it. Say what you mean and mean what you say.
Okay.
It stays and it saves trust and it saves you a whole lot. And it doesn't matter who means it first, whether it's the male or the female. At that time, remember, God loved us first before we loved it, because He meant it. He meant what He said in His word. So that's it. So anybody with the thing come genuinely first, now that person is supposed to talk first.
All right.
Because it's not gender specific. Okay. So with these few points of mine, I beg to take my leave now. God bless every one of us.
All right.
Good morning.
Thank you.
Take care.
Okay. All right, beautiful people. Keep your calls coming in. Talk to me and let me know what you think. When is the right time to say I love you? Is there such a thing as perfect timing when it comes to saying I love you? Hello, good morning.
Hello.
Yes, good morning to you. Name, location, please.
Good morning. My name is Jude. I'm calling from Port Harcourt.
You're welcome, Jude.
And please, if I don't get the question, can you ask me the question?
Is there a perfect time to say I love you? When do you think people should start saying I love you to each other?
Okay,
Is there a perfect time to tell somebody that you love them? When do you think people should start using the L word? Is that at the start of the relationship, when they are doing talking stage, or when they feel they have fallen in love? When do you think people should say I love you to each other?
For me, I think when people should start saying I love you to each other, it's when you are when you are falling in love with the person. You understand? Even if it is a boy or a girl, you should tell the person that you love him or her. But the problem is that if a girl now fell in love with a boy and tell the boy that he loves her, she loves her, like she loves him, like boys, like this thing is mostly in men, like they will feel like the girl is cheap. You understand? So that's what makes like most girls, they fall in love with a boy, so they keep it to themselves. You understand? So trying to, like, through their behavior or their distance, so trying to make the guy to know, so that the guy, either the guy tell her, if the guy did not tell her, maybe they can keep on keeping it to themselves and showing it through their behavior, or they can later, or maybe they will later like stop, like the relationship, like the affection that they have for the guy will stop, or they will find another suitable person. So what I'm trying to say is that it's best that anyone that fell in love with any person should like tell him or her the time that she or her fell in love with any person that yes, it's good to avoid breaking people's hearts. Do you understand? Yeah, that's what I mean.
All right. Okay. Thank you, Jude. All right. You can send in messages. Send them to 0701 9339 962 0701 9339 962. Let me know what you think. Hello. Good morning. Hello. Good morning.
Good morning, Felix.
Yes, please. I'm very well. Thank you. How are you?
Fine. My take.
Okay. Is this never mind?
Yes.
Okay.
There is no perfect time. it shouldn't be at the starting stage.
Okay, it shouldn't be at the start of the relationship or at the talking stage. Which one?
That is when you enter into a relationship newly.
Okay.
Don't just rush into telling somebody I love you. Sometimes it could be infatuation. Sometimes,
Inside the relationship.
yes.
So you can use infatuation to enter into a relationship? Is that what you're saying?
It can be possible. Yes.
Okay.
It is when you guys are close that you begin to observe that person and start developing love for the person. In the relationship for fun, just for fun. So telling them that I love you sometimes doesn't make any meaning or sense to them. So until you have touched their heart, then you can say it and they will catch meaning to it. Except that if you will just be wasting your time telling them I love you when they are not out there for love. What they are there for is to catch funds. Like the story you just told about yourself, how the man was just coming, the intention was for sex. So if that be it, you like the man tell you I love you 1 million times, make no sense to you. So yes, that is my own point. But I want to say that according by your song, that any man that loves you walk up to you. I don't think that by your story any man will summon the courage, because you have proven to them that sometimes you are even stronger or superior than them. So yes, you scare them from even trying to dare. So, that is what I want to say.
All right then. Thank you. Never mind for calling. Okay, beautiful people, keep your calls coming in. 08109510951. Let's do calls in the next couple of minutes, and then, like I said, we're doing comeback episodes. So I will be lacing you with songs. Okay, so more songs. Let's talk tonight. Yeah, that's my intention. Comeback episodes. I'm just trying to make sure that I give you a good time. Yeah, that is my intention, my darlings. I'm here to give you a good time. Okay. All right. So 0701933962 for messages. Regular text messages and WhatsApp messages as well. I'm going to be reading the ones that are here already. The ones I've received so far. I will quickly read them, and so we can do what we have to do, okay? And then in the next couple of minutes I'll take more calls. So 0817-000-951. Hello.
Good morning, babe.
Hi, good morning. Who is your babe?
Mrs. Moses on the line.
Okay, when did I become your babe? How are you, Mo?
It's been a while. I'm really sorry. I'm fine.
Okay, I know it's been a while.
Plus or minus, I don't know how to apologize. But
why do you want to apologize?
It wasn't really intentional.
Okay. I will accept chocolates and flowers.
What?
I will accept chocolates and flowers. You know, I don't like dry apologies. Whatever reason you are apologizing, even though I don't know why you're apologizing.
Talking about chocolate, I mean, that's so healing. Yeah, okay, let me get on. My battery is very flat. Over the week, there was an incident, you know. You know, we saw somebody while traveling, saw someone on the road, and then helped the person, this and that, and then a conversation came up, you know. I would do this for people, and they wouldn't do that for me, and the rest of it. I want to, by that, I want to ask, what actually is love? You know, love is not a feeling. Love is a sense of responsibility. What is this sense of responsibility? I always quote preach about agape love. Doing without expecting. That is the purest of love. So it's possible that when you see somebody, when I see Amaka, I see waiting and won't die for. You know that you're in love. When you are ready to die for what you believe. I see Amaka, I see what I like. I can instantly tell you I love you without, we never go anywhere. I don't know if you get that. So love is the acceptance of responsibility. In other words, you can tell somebody I love you at any instant. When you are ready, when you know that I'm willing to accept responsibility, whether this person reciprocates or not, whether they do for me or they not do for me. I'm willing to do for you. That is what it means to love. Love is not a feeling. I don't know if that is clear.
So in other words, when you believe that if you feel it, you should say it. So if you feel this way about the person, then you should go ahead and tell them.
Yeah, let's talk about being in a relationship. You can also say, after you must have studied the person for some time, and then you have found enough reason that okay, I have seen some part that I can carry. This person is able. It's easier for me. It will be easier for me to carry. Like I mentioned to somebody, when it's not about helping somebody, but don't be a problem for me. It's not about carrying you out at my back, but don't be a kind of emergency brake that will limit me. I don't know if you get what I'm trying to say. So when you're with somebody, when you have found a reason, something that is that will encourage you to do with, even despite the person's character and their downside, that then you know that you're sure. You're ready to love. I don't know if that is clear enough.
Yeah, it is. It is.
Oh, I'm enjoying your show. I'm still listening. At times I listen, but I sleep off because of there's activities.
It's okay.
Your chocolate will get to you.
Okay. All right, thank you, Mo. Okay, so let's go. Let's see. Messages here. Messages are in. I'm going to be reading them. Okay, just keep it coming just in case you want to send a message. 0701 9339 962. That's the code, okay? That's the number to text. Either via WhatsApp or regular text message portal. Yeah, so you can use that, okay? 08109510 So I'm just going to sort through some of the messages here and then get started. Okay. All right. Let me do this call first. Hello.
Hello, good morning.
Hi. Good morning to you. What's your name?
How you doing?
I'm very well, thank you. How are you?
Okay, you okay?
Yeah, it has.
Okay. For me,
is this Wilson?
It's Wilson, yes.
Okay.
I think for me, I actually understand this thing, love. As for you to use the word "I love you" for a woman. Sometimes girls can be stubborn sometimes. Like, are you there? Girls can be stubborn sometimes. Like, there are some of them that they don't like like a male use that word on them maybe for the first time. But there is something you have to find out in where the girl is. Some girls just try and find out something that she's lacking. And if you're calling her, call her at the right time. There are some girls that doesn't like disturbed. Just try and know when to call her and when not to call her. Then as you guys are dating, just try and give her a break. If you're calling her at the right time, and when you're giving her something, mostly if you want to use that word, use it when you drop something for her or you get her some gifts.
That's the only time you should say I love you?
Yeah.
Why? Why would you only say I love you to her when you buy gifts for her, when you buy her something?
No, see, look at it. Look at it. There are some of them that, you ladies are just like now. For instance, now you are talking about Choco. Choco is about 4-5, right?
I don't know. Depends on the brand.
If you get Choco, for instance, someone that loves Choco, that loves taking Choco, and maybe you get that Choco, you guys are dating, and you just went up and, baby, please, where you? I go to Choco, and she was like, wow. Is she coming to take it, or you're bringing it? Or maybe let's assume that you're just back and you tell her that you get a Choco, or you just bring it from your bag and give it to her. From there, you can use that word. You see that she will respond. Are you hearing me?
No, I don't follow you. I don't follow. I'm lost.
Hello?
Go ahead. Yes, I can hear you, but I'm saying I'm trying to understand the point you want to make. Oh, okay. I think we lost you there, but I was trying to understand the point he was trying to make, because he's saying something in the light of, you tell people you only get to tell a woman that you love her when you buy her gifts or something of that sort. Why? Why should that be the case? Why would you only express your feelings when you buy gifts? So when you don't have a gift to offer, when you don't have chocolates or flowers or anything to give to her, you would not tell her that you love her? Not so? Okay, let's hope Wilson calls back if we still have time. Okay, some messages here. Ambassador Ikechukwu Sterling says, anytime it's okay for people to say I love you once you notice you love the person. Oh, okay. So he says, whenever. Ikechukwu says, whenever you feel like you love somebody, you go right ahead to tell them that you love them. Okay. Okay, so I'm reading more messages now. This one is from Godwin Agwanwo. He says, good evening, Amaka Felix. Okay, this was sent in earlier, so it's good morning now. Concerning this matter, the right time for people to use the L word is when they are having feelings. Okay, not at the talking stage. At that stage, it's too early. And then when they have fallen in love, that is the right time. Okay, that's from Godwin from Alaka here. Arin Zekweme says anytime they feel. Okay, so people can say I love you to each other whenever they feel it. Okay. But no problem. Let's see. Okay. Phone lines again, 0810-951-0951. 0810-951-0951. 0817-000951. That is 0817-000951. Yeah, so it is what it is. Hello. Hello. Good morning to you. Can you talk louder, please?
Hello, good morning.
Good morning to you. All right, welcome. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
This is my first time on this show.
You are so welcome. What's your name and where are you calling into the show from?
My name is Mike. I'm calling from Uji, Port Harcourt.
You are welcome, Mike.
What is the name?
I'm sorry?
What is the name?
Amaka. Mm. When is the right time to say I love you? You can do what now?
I love someone at any minute, anytime.
So when should you tell them that you love them? Is there a particular time when you should tell somebody that you love them? Mm. Why?
One aspect of it, God so loved the world, and He gave, and Jesus saw, and He died. Who am I? If I to continue that love, if truly I have that love for that person, and truly this is the person you want to go for. If you love her, walk on to her. Don't give up. Be full. Walk on to her. Why you love her. Truly that you love her from your heart. But this part we are finding it very difficult is that are you really sure if the person who return that same love?
Okay, so the fear of unrequited love. Okay. All right. Thank you. Thank you for calling. All right. Hello.
Good morning.
Good morning to you.
How was the day?
Okay. How was yours?
Well, I listened to your conversation for a long time. I so much enjoy your conversation.
Oh, thank you so much.
For me,
What's your name?
I am Paul calling from Port Harcourt.
You're welcome.
As for me, there's no perfect time. Any time is a time for a man to tell a woman, I love you. Just that most women don't believe in immediate announcement of that. But as for me, there are many ways a man feels of love. You may be talking just as you are talking. A man may fall in love with you. You may be dancing. A man may not fall in love with you. A man fall in love with a woman at any given time, not when a man want to have sex with a woman or a private time with a woman. So any time is a time for a man to tell a woman I love you. So right as you're speaking tonight, well, from your narrative, I think I'm sorry to say this. This is where I feel it. I fall in love with you because of you are speaking to somebody who is feeling in love. So I love you for that. So anytime is a time for a man to tell a woman I love you. So Amaka, I love you.
Okay. Okay, I hear you, Hope. Thank you for calling, Hope. And thank you for loving me.
Yeah, I love you so.
All right, then.
So where can I see you to tell you that?
Wahala. You have told me already. It's fine. All right, thank you, Hope. Hello?
Amaka, can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you.
It's real fair.
All right, welcome back.
Amaka, for instance, a guy and a girl is dating, and the girl is not getting anything from the guy.
Anything in terms of what? Sex or money?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, I'm asking anything in terms of what? Sex, money,
Caring.
or love? Okay.
Caring.
Okay.
Caring.
Okay.
Like you, when I mean caring, you're not giving her money, you're not buying anything for her, and you keep telling her you love her, you love her. Well, okay, let me use you and someone as example. Someone is teaching you and is not taking good care of you, and he tells you he loves you, he loves you. One day you'll be tired of it. We don't respond. Sometimes he will tell you, you will not even respond. You even tell him thank you. Instead of you to tell him you love him too. Two of us. I'm asking you now, two of us.
I cannot relate to that, so I cannot give you an answer. I can't relate to that.
I forgot. You see, females, there is something in females that God naturally give them.
What is that?
Except those of them,
What is that?
They love being taken good care.
You don't like being taken care of. You don't like being taken care of. If I wanted to take care of you, you would not let me?
Of course, why wouldn't I?
So it's a human thing. It's not about being female.
No. See, the thing is that, God made the male and female, but give the power to the male.
Which power? Power to do what?
To take care of the females.
Oh, okay. I like that type of power.
You like it, right? You like it, right?
I like that type of power. Power to take care of women, Abby?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So that is just it.
Okay. That's fine. Thank you, Wilson.
You're welcome.
All right. Okay, beautiful people, let's go. Hello?
Hello?
Yes, please. Good morning.
It's Jude that still call back.
Okay, quickly, please, Jude.
Okay. I wanted to add something. First of all, how are you doing?
I'm very well, thank you.
It has been long, sharp. I traveled.
I traveled too.
So I wanted to add something like sometimes when a guy tell a woman and like he loves her, some women might not respond to the guy. The guy might not think that the girl does not like her, but maybe the girl have a past like situation whereby a guy tells
trauma
that informer that he loves her and now plays like she give the guy so happy. The guy now play with her heart. Do you understand? So now in the sense that now as the guy now then if you're a guy now that find yourself in that type of situation, so maybe when you tell the girl that you love her, that the girl will not be like, she will not answer, she will not be like, she just keep quiet and be looking at you. Like maybe someone has played with her before, because maybe some guys usually used to do this type of thing. Men usually used to do this type of thing. They can tell a girl that they love her and they will just play with her just to get her just have sex with her. Do you understand?
Yeah.
So now when you find out, so the thing that I'm just saying that when the guy tells the girl that he loves her and the guy does not respond, try to show it in your behavior. Do you understand? That the guy she try to show it in their behavior. If you love this girl, not just that because of
not just by words, he should also prove the love.
Yes.
So she understands.
So when you show it through your behavior, the girl now not like no okay, not all men are the same, blah blah blah. Like this guy, like he too loves me.
All right.
The girl will not be like okay, she will not accept.
All right, thank you, Jude. Hello. Hello. Oh, I cannot hear anything from your end. Hello. Hello. Okay, can you talk louder, please?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Good morning.
I got back this morning.
Okay.
Yes, the voice.
I should guess the voice.
Yeah.
Please just tell me your name. Thank you. You are Matthew. Oh, my Jesus. Okay, quickly, please. You want to do what?
What that guy was saying right now, I want to say what on that one.
Please, quickly. We're out of time.
He made a comment that if every woman is hot, if woman is hot, and a guy loves the woman and said the woman is lovely, woman will not respond based on what they have gone through.
Go ahead.
I don't think that is right. Because no matter the case, the hotness you went, if a guy truly loves you, what you do, you give a chance. You don't just want to come to a ball and hit stuff back. See? When you are hot, forget about the past, you're present.
All right. Thank you.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you. Hello.
Amaka?
Yes, please.
Please, I call back.
Okay.
Hope, my name.
Okay, 20 seconds, please.
Please, I'm very much single. I'm looking for somebody to tell her that I love you. In case you have anyone around, I'm very much available. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much, Hope, for indicating that, for making us know. Thank you, Hope. Okay. So I was going to respond to what Jude said. I was going to speak about the whole situation where people would have traumatic experiences, and it would prevent them from believing that they can find love again, right? So it's a real life situation. These things exist, but that's why on WWE here, I do this thing where I tell you that, look, it's best that you heal before you heal. In the event of a heartbreak, in the event of a relationship that did not work out the way you would have wanted, or the way you would have loved, or the way you hoped it would, in the event of the end of that relationship, if you are hurt, if you are feeling bad that it did not go the way you wanted, it's best that you heal on your own. No matter how badly burned you are, all you need is time. Your heart is designed to heal. The thing with the human anatomy is the things that we experience, right? That is the reason why when you have a cut on your hand, you give it time to heal. Sometimes it depends on how deep it is or how deep the cut was, it becomes a scar, right? But the thing is, do you feel pain? Will you feel pain anymore when it becomes a scar? No. The scar will only remind you that there was a time you got hurt, or there was a time you got burned, or there was a time you cut yourself, or there was a time you had such an accident, you had this accident that led to that scar. That is what scars do. Scars are not there to constantly cause pain. The only thing that scars do is that they remind you that you once experienced this. Now, when it comes to the heart, right? The thing is, broken hearts can heal. Your heart is designed in a way that it will heal irrespective of how many times you get hurt. So for people like that, I would advise that. I always advise that you try not to make anybody your rebound. It's best that you heal on your own before you get into another relationship, right? So for what Jude said, where a guy would be in love with a girl and then he tells her, and because she's still dealing with a hurt from the past, she doesn't want to reciprocate the love, or she doesn't want to believe that true love exists. Honey, I will tell you this for free, that there is love in existence in this world. God is love. That is, if you believe in God. For those of you who believe in God, and when He made the earth, trust me, He laced it with love. The way you are made as a human being, the way that your body works in symphony, your body, every organ in your body works in harmony. The eyes know what to do, when to do it. The nose knows exactly what to do. Your lips are doing a fine job. Everything that you do is connected, and so it's proof that we have love to give. There's no such, oh, my love don't finish. Our love no finish. So you just have to heal and move past the trauma. Okay? Whatever experience that you've had, well, whatever experience that you have had, trust me, all you need is time. This message says, why did you say you're not a wife material? Please, can you explain? My name is Innocent. Innocent, I was joking, oh. I was joking, okay? I was joking, really. I'm not, well, I don't like the whole wife material this, wife material that, because somehow in Nigerian terms it's used to describe when a woman wants to, when a woman is ready to suffer, when she's ready to go down and dirty. So I don't like that whole wife material thing. I was joking anyway. This one says, have you gotten into a situation when she said it before you? That's my current situation now. Well, it's not a problem if a woman tells you she loves you first. If a woman expresses love before the man does, it really isn't a problem. There's nothing wrong about it. It just goes to show that she's bold enough to go for what she wants. It means that she wants you, and frankly speaking, except you do not want her in return, then you can let it go. But if you know that you love this woman, it should not be a problem for you. If you love her too, it should not be a problem for you. I mean, it's easier for you that way, knowing you fully well that now you don't need any such conviction. You know that this woman actually has feelings for you, for her to have said it before you did. So for me, I mean, she's given keeper. I mean, she's a keeper, so you might want to hold on to that type of woman. This message says, lovely greetings, Amaka. The phrase I love you doesn't really have a right time to be said, as long as the feeling is authentic. Although in a casual setting, expressing it could be when you sense the other person feels similarly, usually because there might be the fear of rejection. There's also no right person to say it first, as it simply depends on who decides to express the feeling after building courage. Anyway, your absence was really felt here. Hope you had a good time. Nice having you back. I'm Michael from Iwofe. Thank you for texting, Michael, dear. It's nice to be back again. It's nice to be back. Thank you. Yeah, I said I wanted to do songs for you people, but you people said no. Okay, no problem. No problem. I dare here with you. That you people said, oh, I should not do songs for you, that you want to be here, you want to talk. Okay, no wahala. Well, our time is fast spent. Okay, thank you so much for doing this with me. Thank you for texting. Thank you for calling. Let's do this again. When we can. Okay, we will do this over and over and over again. Well, it's Thursday. It's a new day, and lovey-dovey. We if everything goes according to plan, we will have the final episode for the week, which would be the music munch. Okay, so what I would need you to do is, come to me, get ready with your songs. Okay, get ready with your songs and all of that beauty. It's lovey-dovey, my darling, so just get ready for me, because I did for you. I'm ready for you guys. Have yourselves a wonderful Thursday, my darlings. Make sure to sleep well, and make sure to be careful, stay safe, alright? Till I come your way again, remember to love who you love, because life really isn't guaranteed. From me to you, it's a good night, and of course, good morning, my darlings. Bye.
other way. You said you love me and that you won't leave me. Heaven knows I've been here doing all for you. Now I don't know what to feel anymore. I don't know what to believe anymore. It's like the moon replaced the shining sun. It's so dark in here, I've got nowhere to go. Who can help you heal your heart, heal your soul, when it feels like you lost it all? Who can help you heal your heart, heal your soul, when it feels like you lost it all? Perfect, oh, we had it so smooth. Never knew I'd been dreaming, 'cause it felt so real. Used to be so nice, the sky and the blue lights, and all the truthful lies. I got used to it all. Now I don't know what to feel anymore. I don't know what to believe anymore.
you ready? Today, 95.1 FM, the voice of the people. Radio has never been this good. Today, 95.1 FM, Port Harcourt. This is Today 95.1 FM, Port Harcourt, voice of the people.